Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the National Guard products number 951. This is an interlocking ramp component, and this video is really just to serve as visual evidence of the item, dimensional evidence of the item, and along with that, what will be most important, and this is obviously just a 6-inch sample piece, will be the link to the product brochure down below, where you can pull up all of the interlocking ramp components from National Guard. So the crucial aspect of a ramp assembly is that you do not exceed a height change of 1-inch rise over a 12-inch run. Okay, so all of the angles and all of the width and height change will not exceed that. Okay, so the link to the product brochure will make clear all of those different components, where they're all compliant with the ADA standards, which would be the A117.1 Accessible and Usable Buildings and Facilities Guide, that you have a maximum height of 1/2 inch to be compliant, that if you have greater than a 1/4 inch leading edge, that the slope does not exceed 1 to 2. So what that means is if your leading edge of your threshold is greater than a 1/4, it's going to be beveled. And that's really why you see so many thresholds. Well, obviously because it'll be a trip hazard otherwise, but that's why many thresholds are simply beveled. The product that you see there, the product brochure, will show all of the components. Okay, they are meant to interlock behind each other. Okay, and inside of each other. You can tell that this leading edge, if the preceding piece would have this detail, would fit right into it and would create a nice transition. So this item, they've got it at 1 3/4. That is indeed the case. Okay, they have it at 3-inch wide. What would actually be 3-inch, to where your pieces are going to mate together, 3-inch, here to right inside of here. Okay, this is in the mill aluminum finish. You can also do all of this ramp work in a DKB, a dark bronze anodized finish as well. And as I'm looking at the product brochure, what you're going to obviously start with in all instances would be an R50, a 6-inch ramp. You can, if you need to get to 12-inch, you're going to add the 957 right behind it, and that will allow you to transition elegantly over your 1/2 inch offset in your floor condition. So, however, you would not use that if you were not trying to achieve 12-inch total. If you needed to get to 9-inch, you're going to go with an R50 and then add a 953. Okay. If you needed to get to 12-inch and wanted to possibly extend that but up to a 1-inch tall unit, as you can see, you'll use the 954 behind the R50. And that's how you will, code compliant, increase your grade. Now, it's important to note that you're going to have available with these ramp applications, you're going to have wings, they call them. And I'm going to pull up the document to the product catalog and we'll take a look at what those wings look like. Now, that link to the product brochure does give you an outline of the wings, or the return closed ends for ramps. And there's an image showing what it looks like. You're basically, imagine if you had, by the time you got out to 1 3/4, you were going to be 21 inches wide. 12 to 1, 24 to 2, minus 3, 21 inches wide. So you can imagine a large open space inside of here. Well, those wings will help, or those closed ends will help cover all of this off. The upside is that it will look utterly professional when it's all said and done. The downside is those closed ends are really expensive pieces of equipment, and I've sold these ramps with the closed ends, and then other people have said, you know what, I don't need the closed ends. I'm going to find a different way to close those off because of the cost. The reason it's expensive is because they're made by hand. You know, they're literally a hand process. It's not just some extrusion that's done and holes are dimpled and then it's put into packaging and shipped out. There's actually labor involved. So the ramps are ordered, you know, based on, you know, how wide or deep of a threshold assembly you're putting together. It's important to note that you can do this material in and very appropriately in an SIA finish. Let me verify that. So SIA by National Guard literally means slick it ain't. That's literally what it means, which I like. Okay, so you'll be able to, yeah, definitely. You'll be able to order all of this material in an SIA finish, slick it ain't, which is a heavy, coarse, textured, knurled, not knurled, but knurled in the sense that there is something quite obviously different about the texturing of its surface. The slick it ain't is intended to prevent you from slipping, and while thresholds, smooth thresholds, do give the possibility of slipping. Obviously, having the profile that's included in this material is crucial. But if you wanted to take it a step further and apply a SIA, a heavy granular surface to the product, they can certainly do that as well. And given a ramp scenario, might not be a bad idea to order it with the Slick It Ain't or SIA version. That does, however, literally all but triple the cost to do that. However, if you can't operate safely the area where you're transitioning without SIA, you know, you obviously see no other option in that regard. So that product catalog will show in cross-section. It's a little confusing as well, though. They'll have one page showing half of the assemblies, and the other page shows the rest of it. But you'll get the picture, or hopefully get the idea of how that works. And you can see better as well how all of the pieces mate together. And the 951 is just a component. This is listed in the site in lots of different lengths. This happens to be just a 6-inch sample piece for review. You can order it in any length that you want. If you want us to cut it to a special size, order the next longest piece and indicate in the comment field the net length you'd like for us to cut the material back to. Not a problem at all. So be mindful that we can happily do that. You'll get a factory edge on the cut at least. And then finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the National Guard products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Any questions on the National Guard products, number 951, 1 3/4 transition ramp component, or any other National Guard product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.